I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 152. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. Also, we'd like to take a minute to shout out some of our podcasting friends. If you want more gaming goodness in podcasting form, take a listen to some of these guys. Shart Gaming, Pixie Gaming, GOGP, Ghost of Gamer Past, Pixel Paradise, Precisely Podcast, New Dad Gaming, In Your Element, and Zap Night. You can find all these guys in iTunes or your podcatcher of your choice. I'm your host, Dave Rotino. This is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster, formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man? How was your weekend?
My weekend has been good. You know what I've been doing, Dan, and you'll be very happy. I've been digging into my backlog.
Nice.
I've been digging into my backlog. I've been playing some games that I should have beaten either recently or a long time ago. So, you know,
right.
Very, very happy about that because I paid $60 for them when they came out. You know, might as well get the most out of them.
Well, you know what? Why don't we just go for it? All right, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail, but not for episode 152.
Are we gonna do it this week?
We're gonna do it
this week,
Dave. What have you been playing?
Oh, well,
out
Dan.
the gate, baby.
This makes it a very special episode then because it's my favorite part of the show. I have been playing Alien Isolation. Ooh. I know. You love this game. It's survival horror with an alien running around a ship. I know it's your favorite, Dad.
Oh God. Listen. I hate spooky games. Okay.
Yeah, this is real spooky because it gets to a point like you go through the intro and then you kind of meet a dude and he helps you out a little bit, gives you some stuff, and you meet some humans. And then shit just goes awry, right? Because there's an alien on this ship, right? There's one big alien on this ship. And every now and again, you'll be kind of running around, and then boom, an alien will drop down. The alien will drop out of like a shaft or like an overhead grate or something. And then you're like, well, shit. Now you got to like hide and duck and like sneak around and like, hide in the lockers and whatnot. It's fucking crazy.
Well, this is a game where there's no combat. Right, it's all about hiding.
Pretty much.
You can't. There's no guns, right? You can't shoot the alien.
You do get a gun. You do get a gun. You can't kill the alien. Yeah,
the objective is to escape. Right.
The objective is I think you were going to find your. Yeah, the objective is to escape because there were some people who went onto the ship. The Swarens, I think is the name of it, or maybe that's your ship. There was like a crew that went out to go investigate the ship. Turns out there were some people on the ship and also an alien. So you were like trying to come and rescue them, I think, and now it's just a matter of like you escaping. Yeah. You can kill the humans. There are very few humans. You can't kill the alien, and there's these other things called worker Joes, which are androids. Right? And they have like rubber human heads. So you think like, oh, I can take my wrench and like beat them to death. But no, you just make a dent in their head and then their head blows right back up. And then they probably are going to choke you out and kill you. So you can't kill them.
But you play like as I think Amanda Ripley, right? The daughter.
You play as the daughter. Yeah. The daughter of Ripley from the movies.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's an amazing game, and it came out like many years ago. But
it came out like in 2015.
I think either 15 or end of 14. I think maybe
something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
It came out really early in the like the PS4, Xbox One life.
It was essentially a launch title for those systems. I'm playing on the PC, so I sadly don't get to do one of the best features for the console, right? Because Xbox came with the Kinect built in, right? So they knew everybody had one. PlayStation 4 had the optional PlayStation camera. You can turn on a mode which will enable the microphone, and if you make noise, the alien will recognize that noise and come chase after you. Yeah, it's bananas.
Well, this came out. It came out on October 7th, 2014. So it came out at the end of 2014.
Yep. So it was right as those systems were coming out.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone hasn't played it yet, it is amazing.
Well, it was out for It came out right when next gen came out.
Yeah.
A year later.
So that and Dragon Quest 11, which I'm making some progress on. So,
well, I got to tell you, I played the same amount of Resident Evil 7 as I did Alien Isolation. 10 minutes.
Well, you know what, Dan? You get an achievement for that.
10, 15 minutes. Maybe. I think I played Resident Evil 7 more than I played Alien Isolation. Okay. Jeez. I'll pass. I have it for Xbox.
Did you buy Resident Evil 2?
I did not buy Resident Evil 2.
You have learned your lesson. I
did not buy Resident Evil 2. All right. So in a 30-minute time demo, I couldn't even get to 15 minutes. I was like, I'm good.
No, you couldn't even get to the demo time.
I'm good. I was like, I did 12 minutes. Yeah. I was like, I'm done. Yeah. No. I'll wait till this is in the bargain bin maybe one day, like in the holidays, during the holidays, Black Friday, right? Sure. Listen, Black Friday, this game is definitely going to be like $25
next year.
Right?
100%. Yeah.
Well, this year during the holiday.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I'll wait. I'm good. I'm not going to spend $60 for a game I'm not going to get past like the first 30 minutes. Yeah. So that's a hard pass for me.
Yeah. All right.
So this weekend I had the stomach flu. So if I sound a little raspy, it's because I'm just getting over it.
Yeah. It's funny. I had that like 2 weeks ago. I got it right after the Super Bowl.
You did, and I didn't envy you. You couldn't work, you couldn't do anything, and it was tough because I felt like my body was aching, and I felt like I was sleeping on like a piece of wood.
Yeah,
but it was just hard you're tossing and turning. You couldn't get a comfortable spot. No. So I tried while I was home. I tried to play the Switch, and I just couldn't. I couldn't concentrate. So all week before I got sick, I was playing Crackdown 3.
Oh, nice. Thoughts on Crackdown?
The more I play Crackdown, the more I like it for what it is. I like it. It's one of those mindless, just shoot 'em up games where the story is irrelevant. Voice acting is minimal. Really, I mean, at least for what I've been doing. You just go in, and to me, it's right up there with. To me, this game is you go in, you save an outpost, and you listen to a podcast. Like that's what this game is to me. It's nothing more, nothing less. Like it doesn't have an in-depth story. I don't know why you would play as anybody else other than Terry Crews, just so you could hear him yell.
I didn't know there were other options besides Terry Crews.
Yeah, when you get the game, you can play as other people. I don't understand why you would play as anybody else.
No, of course. Because Terry Crews is the man. I mean,
Terry Crews is the man.
Yeah. So, all right. I mean, as you said that you'll probably wait for the bargain bin price for Resident Evil 2, I will probably wait for the bargain bin price for Crackdown 3 because I played the first one and it was fun and it was a good like popcorn game, right? You just kind of run around and be a superhero and whatnot, but it got very boring for me, and it pretty much looks like 3 is the same as the first 2.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, visually it looks the same.
Mhm.
I did play a bunch of 1 because it's out for free essentially right now.
Mhm.
Play Crackdown. You can play Crackdown 1
Mhm.
on Xbox One.
Yep.
It is, but it just has Terry Crews yelling, especially every time you level up, and he just like yells and he levels up. It no, it's more Crackdown 1. I can't even.
See, there you go. There you go. Terry Crews.
I
I'm
can't
sorry.
even defend the game. I can't even defend the game. It's more. It's just like Crackdown 1.
I'm sorry, Terry. You're not enough to get one man to buy your video game.
Why not? He got me to buy the video game.
I know, and you're having a good time with it, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna wait.
It's just a good game where you again don't care about the story. You get in, you listen to you listen to either us or any of our gaming friends podcasts.
Mhm.
That's it. And you get in and you you free some outposts and that's it. Really, I don't really care. I don't even know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. The story doesn't make any sense to me, especially from the opening cinematic.
That's not surprising. I don't think anyone's playing it for the story. So,
Right. So while I was sick, I did get a chance. Since I wasn't playing any games, I did get a chance to binge watch Russian Doll, which
nice.
it came. You suggested it,
I did.
right?
I did.
Like I did. This wasn't even on my radar.
Well, it was also suggested to me by all my friends. I'm like, you need to see this. I'm like, all right, and I was sold.
I thought it was like she dies. She keeps dying every day. It reminded me of that movie. Was it Death to Us Part or
Happy Death Day?
Happy Death Day? Yes, and now they have Part 2 coming out. Happy Death Day to You.
Sure.
That's out in theaters. Sure. I like
Yeah.
the first one. I don't know how the second one. The second one seems a little bit more comedy based, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, Groundhog Day was the same thing, right?
Yeah,
same guy
true.
living the same day over and over again. Is that kind of conceit, and he had to do something to break the cycle.
But the difference was he didn't like. I mean, he did. I think he did die a couple of times, but it was just like he can go to sleep and wake up. It's still the same day.
Right. Yeah.
Well, like on this, she keeps dying, right? Like every time you turn around, she's dying, and then it's like, oh, it's the same day. But she did when she goes to sleep, it is the next day. But then she dies, and it goes back to the same day. It goes back to the other day over again.
Yep. So she's reliving the same day for reasons we don't know, which is
I don't want to spoil the show.
Mystery.
I don't want to spoil the show, but it gets a little deep, especially what ties into the name Russian Doll, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dolls that have dolls inside of them, you keep going, the dolls keep getting smaller.
Deeper and deeper, right? Yeah.
Yeah, people have different layers to them that you have to keep digging deep to find, that core them, past all the issues they have. So, yeah, no, I like, listen, good suggestion. This wasn't even on my radar. Good.
Hey, I thought it was interesting still. I'm glad you got some enjoyment out of it. So
I would say the biggest bummer of this week I heard was right on time. This no surprise, but still a bummer. The Punisher and Jessica Jones, the last of the Marvel series on Netflix, have been canceled.
Yeah. Well, Punisher just had season 2, which just dropped recently.
Very violent, more violent than the first season.
100% violent. Yeah, probably the most violent out of all the 5 or 6 series. Jessica Jones, obviously I think they're wrapping up season 3, right?
Yeah.
So we do still have that to look forward to. Yeah. But then that's it. Then they're done. So who knows? There's been some quotes from Marvel saying that they didn't want this to happen. They were kind of a little surprised by it. It wasn't necessarily their doing.
But it makes sense because, the more you think about it, it makes sense that Netflix would cancel this because they're spending billions of dollars on new content because all the studios are coming out with their own streaming service, right?
Right. Disney's kind of got them by a stranglehold. Like, look, if you want this content, now it's going to be 10 million or 20 million to keep these shows on, and Netflix is like,
eventually they're going to pull all of their movies, right? from Netflix to have on their own streaming service.
Yep.
And
Disney
and
is.
And then Netflix is still promoting these, these series that tie in sort of to the MCU universe when they can't even have the movies on there anymore. So I see why they're canceling it. It just doesn't make sense why they're going to promote. Why are they promoting some other company's property, right? When they're going to get all the movies pulled. So.
Yeah. I mean, they're either going to go to Disney's own streaming service or they're going to go to Hulu, which is partially owned by Fox, which is now owned by Disney. So now Disney owns like 60% of Hulu. So that is a possible option.
Well, that's the rumor, right? The rumor is that Disney may want to keep their streaming service more family friendly, and they can maybe put some of their mature content on Hulu, which again, like you said, they own majority stake in. It's like I guess they don't want a kid to stream The Little Mermaid and Punisher season 2 on the same platform.
Sure. Yeah. Disney wants to keep their appearances up,
I don't see the difference in it, right? You just have this as mature content and you're going to have, you
could build certain things into your platform.
Parental controls into the UI, right?
Oh, sure. I mean, they almost kind of have to have that regardless, because even if they have the Marvel movies on there, usually like PG-13 movies, it's still like you don't want your 5-year-old watching Iron Man. It's a little bit too much for them. So.
Well, they got Loki. They said there's going to be a Loki series. He's getting his own series on the streaming service.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
They don't know if it's did he survive? Spoilers. Did he survive the events of the Avengers?
I think it's okay. It's been out. That movie's been out for like a year or so now.
Or is it going to be before then? Right. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it could be before then because right after Thor Ragnarok, that leads into the Avengers.
Well, that story could take place at any point during the MCU timeline, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
There is definitely some slight gaps in time where they could throw a story in, but
also another bummer that I saw this weekend was Yacht Club Games. I love those guys because they made Shovel Knight, and I love Shovel Knight.
I think they only made Shovel Knight, honestly,
and they only made Shovel Knight, but they also I love Spectre Knight more than I love Shovel Knight. I got to be honest. I love the mechanics of Spectre Knight, and I love the story of Spectre Knight more than I love Shovel Knight. And I do have the physical, because I'm a collector. I need the physical release. I have the physical release for the PS4, and I have the physical release for the Wii U. Just because you need to at this point, you need to have the physical. You need to have any physical release for the Wii U.
I know. I know.
As a side note, shout out to Limited Run Games who are going to start making Wii U games. So the Wii U is not dead.
They just love propping up dead consoles. Let me tell you. They're still making PS Vita games.
Make a Sega CD game.
Right.
CD game or a Sega Saturn game. That'd be great.
Oh Jesus! For all like one of you that have a working Saturn. Jesus.
Oh no! For one of us that have a working Sega CD, everyone has a working Saturn. I got 3 of them.
I guess so. Yeah. So this would be the 4th installment from the Shovel Knight series, right?
Yes.
There was Shovel Knight, Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, and now King Knight is going to be the 4th one. It was supposed to be out already, I think.
No, it was going to come out in April. It was supposed to be out in April.
Okay. It was going to be out April for a game that came out in like 2016, I think. They've been kind of milking this for a while,
Shovel Knight is even before 2016, I think.
Maybe. Well, that makes it even worse. I'm glad that they are putting out more content for this.
It came out June 26, 2014.
What? There you go.
It came out before Isolation.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they want to start making something else soon.
They do, but they want the Shovel Knight series to go out with a bang. I've been waiting for this because I love Spectre Knight so much, right? And I want to have the Spectre Knight sort of DLC. I beat this. I played this first on 3DS when it first came out. I beat this on the PS4. I have the physical release for the Wii U. I beat Spectre Knight digitally only on the Switch when it came out. So I want the physical release with all of them, everything, all in one on the Switch. I want the amiibo. It's a bummer. It's a bummer that this has been delayed. The amiibos have been delayed as well. Hopefully, they said they need several more months to complete everything. It's a bummer, but it's good, right? Make it perfect, make it good.
Well, yeah. I mean, the reason they're delaying it is to make it better. Yeah.
So I hopefully this will come out in the summertime. I'm hoping. I'm speculating. That's sort of the rumblings.
You're speculating.
Spec.
Thank you. I'll see myself out.
Yeah, please. All right. How about this? Why don't we switch it up?
Oh, I love it. All
right. It's that time. It's that time of the show. We talk about the most notable games coming out next month. Right. All right. We have Dead or Alive 6 coming out March 1st. PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I'm definitely picking this up. Listen, but before I get into the rest, a lot of games are coming out in March. March is stacked.
Yeah, okay? yeah. It's a big month.
Seems to be
Christmas too. Christmas too is in high swing.
Ah, there you go again. Christmas too.
It is. Look at all these. There's of these titles that you're announcing. Already we have one AAA.
We're not gonna get into Christmas. We're not gonna get into how
already we have one AAA title.
We're not gonna get into how you number Christmas. Okay.
Keep going here, and we'll count how many AAA titles are coming out.
My issue isn't Christmas 2. I believe in Christmas 2. I just don't believe in Christmas 1. It's just Christmas. Okay, but we're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that.
You can
not in the show.
Can you have Christmas 2 without Christmas 1?
You can have Christmas 2 with just Christmas.
Yes, that is the first Christmas, yes?
It's just Christmas.
It's the first Christmas.
But it's just Christmas.
If there is another Christmas at a different point in time in the year, then that would make Christmas the first one.
It's just
AKA Christmas 1.
It's just Christmas. We're not going to get into
it. It is a singular Christmas. It is one Christmas. There you go, Christmas 1.
We're not going to get it. We're not going to.
I think we just did, Dan.
We're not going to get into this.
All right.
I just want to know, was that Super Mario Brothers that sold for $100,000, was it named Super Mario Brothers 1?
People do call it that.
But is that the name?
Call it that.
But is that the name?
Well, it was the only one at the time, so you're not gonna be so what's the word? Pretentious to think that the game is gonna sell so well that there's gonna be a second one. Shigeru Miyamoto was better than that. He is humble.
When Super Mario Brothers 2 came out, did they refer to the Super Mario? Did they say it was Super Mario Brothers 1?
Everybody did. All my friends did.
I never did it. I never did that.
I did.
We weren't friends, for sure. Obviously. We weren't friends.
We wouldn't be able to be friends.
You were way older than me. You were in college already.
We wouldn't be able to be friends because we'd be fighting over this one point.
I know you would be in college, and I was still like 5.
Listen, Dan, I'm wise beyond my years. This needs to be known.
Anyway, all right. So we got Dead or Alive 6, March 1st. Then we have a week later, March 8th, we got Devil May Cry 5 coming out.
Another AAA game.
Another AAA game. PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yeah, good to see. PC. Good to see. Yeah.
The 3DS is not dead. No. Because also coming out with Devil May Cry 5, March 8th, is Kirby's extra epic yarn for
extra 3D. Epic yarn.
Yes.
That's a
Wii port.
It is a Wii port. I was just gonna ask. Right. So
the Wii port coming out for the 3DS. This is, by all accounts, the 3DS's swan song. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, because doesn't the Kirby game spell the end of the life cycle for that console?
Well, it usually
isn't that always a thing.
Well, until the Switch, because Kirby came out last year.
Well, all right. Besides the Switch, right? Besides the Switch, it always seems like Kirby ends the life cycle.
Other than the Switch, Kirby usually ends the life cycle.
Right? It happened on N64. It happened on GameCube.
Technically, it happened in the SNES.
Yeah. There was what was it? Kirby Superstar Saga, I think.
Something like that. It happened with every system except for the Game Boy.
Right.
Except for the
Game Boy's eternal, man.
Yeah. Then we have a game that I gotta say most anticipated by me. All right, coming out March 15th, The Division 2. Coming out PS4, Xbox One, and PC. We both. I mean, you got me to get The Division 1. Okay. and you got me to do a multiplayer game.
I did. Surprisingly, Dan Robinson was online playing with other people. Well, technically, just me and him were going at it. But
we jumped
there
in
were
with
other people in the world.
We jumped in with some random.
Sure.
There's two things I don't do: multiplayer games and spooky games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do those. And he got me to do one out of the two.
I did, and we had a good time. So we're definitely looking forward to the new Division.
Next, also, well, coming out for the PS4 Switch March 20th is it's not really a new game, right? This is sort of a port of an old game. Was it the Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon Everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's that Final Fantasy spinoff that came out for the 3DS.
Yeah, the one of many. Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. Pretty sure there's been a lot of these going back to the PS1 era, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. You're
the Final Fantasy group guru here. You tell me.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, they definitely had it for a while. I don't know if this one is a direct port. Yeah, no, 2007. Yeah, I feel like it's a new game.
Oh well, this was like a Wii game. I purchased brand new, still selling, brand new, a Chocobo game for the 3DS, or for the DS, I should say, from Square Enix directly, and I got it for like $2, like $3 on Black Friday. Listen, if you're a collector, always check out Square Enix's website during Black Friday during the holiday.
Yeah, lots of good deals.
They will sell you brand new PS1 games, brand new DS games, okay, brand new Xbox 360 games or PS3 games for like $2, $3, $5.
Mm-hmm.
Like they must have extra, and this is the English version too, the American version, not the Japanese version. Just as a side note, if you're a collector, check it out.
Yeah. You know what? Upon closer inspection on these screenshots, it is definitely a port.
Of a Wii game, right? It was a Wii game, not a 3DS game.
The 3DS one, there was a Mystery Dungeon game. I'm not sure specifically which one it's a port of, but the graphics definitely aren't up to the Switch PS4 current gen level, for sure.
Next up, a game that everyone's been anticipating: Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, coming out March 22nd.
Sounds like a James Bond movie, right?
It kind of
007, Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Now that you think about it,
right?
Now that you say it, yeah, it does.
And not to be confused with Ghost of Tsushima, which is another old school Japanese samurai game. I guess this is more of a ninja game, but well, it has a similar feel.
This is more of a Dark Souls-y type of game. In
right,
set in sort of rural Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Ghost of Tsushima doesn't seem as brutal, right? As this one is, as Sekiro. So I'm probably gonna do a hard pass on Shadows Die Twice, only because I'm not a Dark Souls fan. Like dying every 2 seconds isn't fun for me. Listen, Bloodborne I didn't enjoy at all.
Dan, this is the perfect opportunity for you to use your famous hashtag GMG, Grown Man Gamer. Ain't got time for that.
You know what? I'm a grown man gamer.
Time for that.
I ain't got time to die every 2 seconds. Okay?
No, you want to experience the game. You don't want to get frustrated by the game.
Yes. Next, again, two tiers. Okay? The Walking Dead final season, episode 4.
I have to pour a little bit of my drink out on the side
onto
my hardwood floor, and then immediately clean it up because I have hardwood floors.
Stupid. It's coming up for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC March 26th. Still no release date for the physical release.
Right. I mean, is there a planned physical for this?
It's if you try to pre-order it on Amazon, it's sold out, and it has just a December 31st release date. So
December 31st of 2019.
Yeah, I mean it's just a placeholder. It means there's no official release date for the physical release.
Actually, fun little side note. Speaking of placeholders, I believe it was Bethesda. There is, and I believe it is still up. There's an Amazon listing for a for a placeholder new game. I believe it's from Bethesda. That's up, and they just have one of those like spinning countdown movie trailer things, right? 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1 as like the placeholder. It's very weird. It's very weird. People were speculating on what it is, but nobody knows.
Fallout 86?
Oh boy.
No?
Lesson not learned.
Come on. All right. Listen, Fallout 76, the definitive edition with NPCs in it.
How about Fallout, the making of Fallout 76? Because everyone just had a fallout from the development. Never mind.
No. Stop while you're ahead. Thank you. All right. With that said, we're getting to Dave's favorite franchise being remake, remastered, re-released yet again, because you just can't get enough of Final Fantasy. And this time, Final Fantasy VII is coming out on Xbox One and the Switch March 6th.
Fantastic. Final Fantasy VII Portable? Check. Done. Final Fantasy on Xbox? That was originally a PlayStation exclusive. And, well, then ported to PC and whatnot. But, yeah. All good things. Very excited. I may buy the Switch version if there is a physical. Otherwise, I have it in many formats already.
I think it's digital only.
I know. Sadly,
digital only thing. I don't. Well, it's only coming out for Xbox One and Switch March 26th because it's already out on a PS4, which I own already. My most anticipated game of March, you would think it was The Division 2, but no, it's Yoshi's Crafted World. Coming out on the Switch March 29th.
That's the most anticipated. Wait! I just realized what you said.
It's the most anticipated for me. That is the most. I love the Yoshi series. I loved Yoshi's Woolly World. I love Poochie Yoshi's Woolly World on 3DS.
Well, I mean, it's an easy romp, right? You know, it's a game you can get through at a reasonable pace.
It's a GMG game, 100%. And it's a game that is brutally easy. It is really easy in the beginning, and then it gets slightly harder as you go on. It's never really like Blood Souls, Bloodborne
or Bloodborne, yeah,
hard, right? But it's a game that you can get through and beat in a reasonable time. And then last, something that I don't think anybody really is clamoring for is Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, Liberation Remastered.
Hey, Dan, there are some people
coming out for the PS4, Xbox One.
There are some people who like the worst entry into the Assassin's Creed series, all right? There's some people who love this game.
I don't know who they are.
Honestly, though, it's probably a tie between this and Unity for the worst ones of the series. Three had a lot of problems. So did Unity. I think that was rushed. But this is actually one of the only ones I haven't played yet is Assassin's Creed 3. So
I am on the hunt. I know I'm on a hunt for the PlayStation Vita, the white PlayStation Vita, American version, NTS. All right, not the Japanese version. I can easily buy that. I had this. My ex girlfriend at the time bought me the Assassin's Creed bundle with the Vita, the white Vita, and I traded it in to get the black one because I had all my consoles were black. It clashed, right? I didn't want the white one because
gotta have some uniformity, right?
Yeah, and I wasn't a collector back then. I was just playing games. I wasn't really collecting. Boy, is this thing hard to find. It did not sell, and it is hard to find. I tell you. I mean, I may end up buying the Japanese version or spending a lot of money to get. I first of all, I still have the box. Okay, I never threw away the box.
Nice, good on you. Good on.
But it's useless because I can't find it by itself. Everybody's selling it with the box, and they want they want like $250, $300.
I think you may have to pony up or play the long game and just wait. You know,
I don't want to spend that money because I already own the box. I already have
play the long game. Play the long game. Wait it out. You know, eventually you'll come across somebody selling it.
Eventually, I come across. I just don't want.
You're gonna come across some garage sale one time. Someone's just gonna have it kicking around. You're like, boom, there it is.
I don't want to wait too long, and then $1,000, just like the Wii U bundle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Dave. Before we take a break, you get any good pickups this week?
I got some pretty good pickups. Star Wars Battlefront Special Edition for Xbox One. Took me 2 trips to GameStop because I specifically picked it up because I wanted the special edition with the extra content in there, right? The spine is slightly different and the cover is slightly different. When I went to go check out, the guy didn't realize he just picked up another Star Wars Battlefront, and he's like, "Oh, here you go." I'm like, "Damn it, it's the same one." So I went back. He apparently had to give me a brand new copy, which I got for the pre-owned price of $3. So, I consider that a win. And then I picked up the Elder Scrolls Online and the expansion Morrowind for the PS4. So
cool.
Just a few,
Amiibo too.
What's that?
Didn't you pick up some Amiibo?
I did pick up some Amiibo. King K. Rool for one, Wolf, and the alternate costume for Cloud.
That's
probably the one that you saw.
I have Cloud. I didn't see. I saw that, and I said I already have Cloud, but they had 2. Oh man.
Yep. So the alternate one is his Advent Children costume, which is him in all black, and he wears like a black cape. That's how you can tell the difference. The other one, he's in the purple and black outfit from the game.
All right, so I got to go back and see if I can
do
up before it's sold out. I got to see if I can. All right. I finally hit 100 Wii U games.
Nice.
I have for the most part, I have all the good Wii U games. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have all the good Wii U games.
So you have like 20.
It's like 30, maybe.
That's stretching it. I don't know.
Ish. Listen, some of those Disney games are really good. Usually I give them a chance.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie. I went and picked up some shovelware. And not all of them is shovelware. All right. So look, I got Scribblenauts, the 2 Scribblenauts games. Unlimited and Unmasked.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big fan of that, but some people like that game. Transformers Prime.
Nice.
All right. I think that game is a little underrated because some of the Transformers games have been, well, Dave would say trash.
There was definitely some on the trash scale. The War for Cybertron was great, and the I want to say the latest one that was on Xbox One and PS4 with the G1 Transformers was really good.
You think that one was really good? Really?
Yeah, I thought that was solid. What
was the other? Oh no, it was I can't think of the name. Maybe it was the Fight for Cybertron. No, Rise of the Dark Spark. I thought that was okay.
Yeah, that was all right.
I mean, if you're gonna go on Wii U titles, I think that one was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got Lego Dimensions. Without the box, it's just a game. Without all the trinkets and stuff that come with it. Lego City Undercover. I had this on the Switch. I played this first on the Switch because it was ported to the Switch soon after. But I got it on the Wii U for a good price. Marvel's Avengers Battle for Earth. Someone actually told me I should pick that one up. Mm-hmm. They said that was a little underrated. I don't believe them.
In preparation for Marvel's Avengers or Marvel Superheroes 3, possibly?
Yeah, but they told me it was underrated, and I don't believe them.
Oh, all right.
It was definitely rated.
It's rated appropriately.
It's rated on it. Yeah, it was, and it's Marvel's Alliance. It was like Marvel's Alliance. It's what you're thinking of. That's coming out for the Switch.
Marvel Alliance. That's right. Yeah, there's too many damn Marvel games. Let me tell you.
Not enough good ones.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Ghost, definitely underrated. Beat it on I beat it on the PS3. No, I beat it on PS4. I have it for PS3 too because I found it at a garage sale.
I did not know they made Ghost for the Wii U.
They did. They made Ghost, and they made 2 Call of Duty games. They made 2 Call of Duty games. Now you gotta make me look this up. Look at the.
Wow.
I know I have both.
Yeah, I know. Like sporadically, I know they made Call of Duty 3 for the original Wii, and they made Black Ops 2.
Yeah, that came out for the Wii U.
Remember
the Wii U came out in 2012.
No, I understand that. But it was severely underpowered and a completely different architecture, and Nintendo didn't want to have anything to do with third-party games. They're like, nah, we're good,
I don't think that was Nintendo's intent, but yeah, okay. I feel you.
I don't think I necessarily wanted to shy them away, but they weren't doing anything good to get people in.
But no, they had Black Ops 2. I have that, and I finally picked up Ghost. And Fast and the Furious Showdown for the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up a few other games. I'll go through them really quickly. X Squad for PS2.
Oh boy, that was like a near launch title.
Yeah,
It is squad based third person shooter, if I'm not mistaken. It was trash.
The Secret Saturdays. It was trash. It was it really was trash. It really, listen, I couldn't help it. It was like $2.
Hey, I'm not blaming you. I would have picked it up too for $2.
Secret Saturdays, Beast of the Fifth Sun for the PS2.
What?
Yeah,
What?
never heard of the game either.
Secret Saturdays, Beast of the Fifth Sun. Wow, that is a mouthful.
I got Tom Clancy's End War for the 360.
Okay.
Section 8 for the Xbox 360.
I don't know that game.
And Stormrise for the Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice little set of pickups.
Yeah. I got something coming. Hopefully I'll get it this week and I'll talk about it on episode 153. I was hoping I would have got it this week, but it didn't come. So, I'll tell you about it when we stop recording. I'll bring it up on the show next week.
All right.
So, all right, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we'll get into the top 10 gaming news of last week.
And in our lead story of the week, we say goodbye to Reggie Fils-Amie leaving Nintendo. It is truly a sad day.
And we're back. All right, let's get into the top 10 gaming news stories of last week. Let's start with Google. All right, let's start with
Google.
Good old Google. Good old Alphabet company, right?
Well, parent company, sure.
What did they change the name to? Is it the ABC company or is it called the Alphabet company?
No. Alphabet is legit the parent.
Alphabet is now the parent, and Google is now the evil stepchild, right?
Well, some people sure think so.
They've entered the ring of the gaming space, as everyone is. Everyone's trying to enter the ring. You got Google, you got Verizon, and I heard Samsung is even trying to enter in the gaming streaming.
So what you're saying, Dan, is
here comes a new challenger.
Google is now entered the ring in the gaming space in a big way, and if any company can make it, it's them because they're worth billions of dollars. Now, they've unveiled. They will unveil their new gaming project at GDC in March. Now, we've heard rumors that they want to put out an actual physical console in living rooms, or they want to stream on the Google Chrome browser, right? I think it was Assassin's Creed that you
That's
can.
Right, Assassin's Creed you can stream on Switch and in your Chrome browser. Odyssey, I believe, was the one that they did.
So, what would it be? Well, first of all, Dave, let me ask you this: do you think they will come out with sort of like a dual, actual box, and you can stream on browsers? And if they do you think do you think they can make it?
Well, I mean, it depends what you're talking about. If you're talking about the PC, it means you already have the hardware, right? You already have a graphics card, you already have a processor, you have all this stuff, right? So in that case, then it's just going to be, it's just their streaming service, right? You go right into Chrome, most likely log into your Chrome account. Boom, here's some games you can stream right now. And you just need to get a controller, most likely, right? Because that would be the preferred way to play, I would assume. If you're talking about the living room, then they have to have hardware, right? Some sort of box, right? That allows for Wi-Fi and probably an Ethernet hookup, right? Power cord, obviously, and some sort of connection for like Bluetooth controllers, right? So you need a tiny little brain to do that, and then like HDMI out to your TV, right? And then boom, there you go. I doubt it's going to have any physical media. I don't think they're going to go that route. I think it's all going to be digital and probably streaming in that case for most of it, if not all of it.
You think it's going to be Google Ouya?
Aguya?
Aguya?
Aguya? Yeah. I mean, name still withstanding. I feel like there's going to be some hardware involved, but just to kind of facilitate the proper connections and, whatever else.
Didn't Steam have like a Steam box? All right.
Yeah, sure they did. They did.
You think they're going to enter, sort of be more of a competitive to Steam, right? Compared to like Epic Game Store, right? I think they would be more inclined to be a competitor to Steam, to have like the Epic Game Store, the Google Game Store, right? That will tie in.
Well,
you can play the games. These are PC games that you can play on your PC, on your browser at work. You can stream it to the browser at work if you have like a Google Stream box, or you can play on your phone if you have a Google phone.
Maybe. I mean, like all of that would be awesome, right? To have all those options on the table. I don't know if it's going to be that smooth out the gate, depending on what they say they want to do and when they want to launch, right? Because obviously it's been in production for, I'm assuming, over a year by now. Right?
Well, we've heard rumors like 2 years ago, right?
Well, sure.
We've talked about this since like 2017.
So I mean, they were. Yeah, so they were obviously working on some stuff behind closed doors. Now it's kind of coming to a head, right? Now they've got something good to show. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what it is. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily jump on it because.
Do you think they can make a big impact though?
Given the right infrastructure, sure.
Money, everyone keeps, everyone's saying, well, because they have a lot of money, because they're Google, they can make an impact. But you know what? Amazon has a lot of money, and they made zero dent in the phone and in cell phone market, right? They came out with the Amazon phone.
Although they also only tried once, right? They had their Google Fire phone or something like that, I think. They only put one model out and it didn't really do well, and then they said, we're good. Because I think the whole reason they did that was to get people to buy, was to make it easier for people to buy their products, right?
No, I'm making a comparison.
Oh, well, sure.
Amazon, has a lot of money, and just because you have the money and you have the resources doesn't mean you have a good product. Where they try to come out with a phone, Amazon trying to come out with a phone didn't work. They didn't make a dent in the cell phone market.
Sure.
But Google has a lot of money, has the resources. Doesn't mean they'll make a dent in the gaming space.
I mean, it's true. It's true. Although my counter argument would be Microsoft, right? If you end up plugging away long enough, you'll eventually make a dent.
Listen, Dave, we're never going to agree. The OG Xbox One
was awful. Yes.
The second most underrated video game console of all time, behind the Sega Saturn. I'm sorry.
No. It is perfectly rated.
No, it is not perfectly rated. No. Very severely underrated. We're gonna have to hash this out this year at some point.
You keep saying that. It's gonna be a losing battle.
We're gonna have to hash this out.
It's gonna be a losing battle for the
OG Xbox
for the clan of Dan Robinson.
They had some great exclusives. Stop it. It was just
they had a handful of great exclusives. One of my favorite games of all time, Jet Set Radio Future, is on the original Xbox.
It was just huge. That's it. The problem was it was just huge. I mean, the shell was huge. The controller was huge. It was just huge. Other than that,
it didn't have a lot of great games.
The console had lots of great games, Dave. You got to open your mind up. You had lots of great games.
I'm gonna go ahead and go back and play my copy of Brute Force, and I'll let you know how good of an experience I have with that game.
Well, are you gonna play with the big controller?
The Duke? I don't even have a Duke.
You gonna play with the Dookie?
I don't even have a Dookie. I have the S's and that's it.
Listen, I don't think it was that big. I have big hands, so I thought it was perfect. Okay.
Well, it's because you have big hands. Most people don't have giganto enormous hands.
To this day, I still play with the Dookie on my Xbox One.
Well, look, some people like playing with Dookie. Some people take a hard line.
Some people like playing with Dookie. Some people don't.
Yeah, there's two kinds of people in this world.
Two kinds of people in this world. Either you're Dookie or not Dookie.
Right. I'm an S guy through and through.
Yeah, I'm all about that Dookie. All right, let's shift gears. Let's shift gears. Let's talk about THQ Nordic. THQ, they've been slowly, I think slowly but surely, they're going to be a juggernaut in the next generation when next gen comes around. Okay, because they've been building up a portfolio like the last couple of years, ever since they came back into existence. Right.
Right. Well, THQ was the developer of all of the wrestling games, right? They were the developer of a ton of trash tie-in content games, right? They were kind of the developer of mediocrity. Were they on Mortal Kombat?
I think they were like publisher for Mortal Kombat back in the day.
Maybe. Yeah, they were like the king of mediocrity. They had some decent wrestling games, the WrestleMania series, the WWE 2K. Well, actually, no, 2K is when 2K took over, but they had a bunch of good stuff on PS2 and whatnot. That was probably the best thing that company ever put out. They had their SpongeBob games and whatever else, just all kind of eh. So they came back as THQ Nordic, and like you were saying, they've been buying up all these dormant franchises, right?
Yeah, they've been on a roll. I mean, recently they picked up Time Splitters, right? Alone in the Dark, Goat Simulator. I didn't even know about the Goat Simulator one.
Yeah, neither did I. That's like real surprising. I think the guy who made it was a one-man team and just kind of and they're like, no, we're gonna go ahead and take this and run with it. And
just to name a few, but they've been buying up IPs like crazy. So recently they sort of raised $225 million so they can go out and buy more IPs. They can do more acquisitions. So they're trying to do big things. They're going to be a major player. They have so many different IPs. I mean, they just put out what was the game on the Switch I was playing the other day? I hated it because of the save states, because it was a direct port. They didn't actually add anything to it.
Oh, you mean Sphinx and the Curse of the Mummy?
Sphinx.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Now, I may have an issue with that, but listen, they got me to buy it, right? I mean, I like the game. I would keep playing the game if it had a better save system. If it had more of a modern save system. I don't mind those collectathon platformer games from like the early 2000s.
Right.
But that's my gamer grief.
Sure. I'm actually very happy looking over the list of the THQ Nordic acquisitions. They did pick up Carmageddon, the car combat racing simulator. Yeah. That game is that game is fantastic. It needs a better reboot than what it had. Stainless Games was the last one to have the license and put that game out. It was okay, but not great.
If they had a chance to buy an IP, let me phrase the question this way: if they had a chance, what IP would you want them to buy and resurrect?
I would want them to buy the Jet Set Radio franchise. If they bought the Jet Set Radio franchise from Sega and put out a new game, I would be happy. Although as good as THQ Nordic is shaping up to be, I don't know if they would do it the same justice that Sega would.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my. I just really want a new one of those, or maybe like Kid Icarus from Nintendo, right? A new Kid Icarus game. Nintendo's never going to do that.
First of all, Nintendo's never going to do that. I don't even know if I will want anybody else other than Nintendo to make a new Kid Icarus game. I mean,
I could see somebody else making it. I mean, Sakurai made Uprising, which was great, but it wasn't like the classic Kid Icarus, even though they only had two.
They only had two Kid Icarus games.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I want that kind of like. I don't know. Kid Icarus was like super unique, right? Because you kind of like you'd go through these vertically scrolling stages, which was like brand new. It was kind of like a new thing. And then they're like, boom, side scrolling stages. And then boom, there was these crazy dungeons. And then boom, you could get like permanent upgrades to your character and go through shops. Like there's a lot of new stuff going on, That's what I wanted. But
Okay. You know what? I would
Yeah.
want them to buy Duke Nukem.
Hey, there you go. That is a solid answer, Dan.
Like, come on, put out. I mean, we already have a port of Duke Nukem. Like, there was like a Duke Nukem anniversary edition that came out recently.
We had a remaster, I think, in a couple years ago. Yeah.
No. There was a Duke Nukem anniversary edition that just came out.
Yeah.
Last year. It was last year.
It was for Duke Nukem 3D. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have that.
It was really good. Yeah.
I have that. I want them to put out a new Duke Nukem game.
Yes. That's not forever.
That's not forever.
And does not take forever to come out.
Ever? No, not forever.
No, we want it, and we want it in a timely fashion.
And I want all the puns.
You want all the puns? Well, sure.
I want all the one-liners.
Right? Yeah. It has to be in that same kind of cheeky Arnold Schwarzenegger, early '80s style.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, let's get into our lead story.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Nintendo. So we have a new CEO, right? There's a new CEO, Furukawa-san. If I can say that correct. Hopefully I said that correctly and did it justice. Right. I am terrible with names.
Yep.
Okay. I am terrible with names.
That is a fact, folks.
So even at work, I'm terrible with names. So, but now we're going to get a new president of Nintendo of America because Reggie Fils-Amie is stepping down. He is retiring after 15 years at the helm of being president of Nintendo America. He's been with the company since 2003, I believe.
So he came in at the tail end of the GameCube era, right? He was there for the launch of the Wii, there for the Wii U, obviously 3DS, and also most notably the Switch, I guess. Right?
And the DS.
That's right. Yeah,
he was there for the DS, 3DS.
Yeah.
Wii U for good or bad, better or worse, I should say. And the Switch.
He was instrumental in bringing the Wii style titles like Wii Sports and Wii Fit.
My body is ready.
My body is ready. Yeah, famously said. I think at E3, right?
It was at E3.
Right. Birthed 1,000 memes. My body is Reggie.
My body. So he's stepping down, sad face, because listen, he had a lot of personality, right? And he was like a big goofball in the sense, right?
Yeah, he was exactly what Nintendo needed and exactly what the fans wanted, I think, from the face of Nintendo of America, right?
And Nintendo, who is, for the most part, family-friendly company, he said the word ass. He said, "I'm going to kick your ass." When he came down to doing a Smash Brothers challenge.
Oh yeah.
When it came out for the Wii U. He was like, "I'm going to come back and I'm going to kick your ass." He came back. He lost. He didn't win. He didn't win, but he was a good sport about it.
It was a valiant effort. Yeah. So I'm curious, Dan. Do we know who is going to be succeeding Reggie Fils-Amie?
Finally, Bowser wins. Doug Bowser. This guy's a great name, right?
He has a very good name for one key reason. Yeah.
Was he hired? He was hired back in 2015. Was he hired just to hey, Doug Bowser? Of course we're going to hire you.
I'm sure that didn't hurt. Did
he not apply for a job at Xbox or Sony?
Well, he used to work for EA for a little bit. I did find that out, and then he worked for another. I want to say a Procter and Gamble style company doing I think marketing or something for them. He
was senior vice president of marketing for Nintendo, and he worked really closely with the new CEO Furukawa-san for the launch of the Switch, and obviously. They sort of took it in a different direction than they did the Wii U, right? They marketed the Switch to sort of, more older audience, which worked wonders. Obviously, I still don't see people playing the Switch on rooftop parties, but you never know. Maybe one day we will. Come on, Dave. Come on.
You're just not going to the right parties, Dan. That's all.
I'm not going to the right parties.
You're not going to the right parties.
So he could be. Listen, they said they work well together. That's his guy, right? I can't help but think when I hear that did Reggie is he really retiring? Did he really want to spend more time with his family, or did he not see eye to eye as far as future plans of Nintendo with the new CEO?
Oh, you're thinking there's some behind the scenes action going on, huh?
I'm just saying. Listen, I don't hear anybody saying this. It could be possible. Listen, I could be wrong. Reggie could want to retire and just want to spend more time with his family, because I can imagine being the president of Nintendo America means you're probably spending a lot of long hours at work, right? Especially with the time difference in Japan.
Yeah, well, sure. I'm sure you're having some meetings at odd times. That's just kind of something you can't get around.
Because I think his kids are like a lot older. I don't think he has young kids, so it's more time, for himself, spending with his wife and spend with his friends. I can't help but think maybe, this could have been a mutual decision. Like, hey, we don't see eye to eye on how you want to continue to move forward with with Nintendo. And Doug Bowser sort of shares the vision of the new CEO, right? That's his guy.
I mean,
or I could be wrong.
Possibly.
I'm just putting it out there. You never know. I don't have any sources or anything. I'm just spitballing. You never know. But I wish Reggie the best. He had like this brilliant 2-minute goodbye video, right? I thought that was awesome. And listen, the one thing about Reggie, last thing I'll say about him, all the memes, right, that people said, people had about Reggie, he was aware of all of it and he took it in stride.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
So,
it's the right attitude to have about everything, I think.
He's a great attitude. I mean, come on, the guy who made the New York pizza for Pizza Hut. Come on, he has to be a good guy. Yeah. The New York style pizza.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you, Reggie.
Gonna miss you. All right, let's stick with Nintendo and let's stick with Nintendo exclusives. I told you my most anticipated game of next month is Yoshi's the new Yoshi game.
Yeah, because you're that filthy casual over there, right?
I'm the filthy casual. Okay, I don't know who Doug Bowser is marketing to. The filthy casual.
I guess
filthy casual. I'm a hardcore gamer, baby. I just don't like.
Are you? Yeah, you just you can't handle the hardcore.
I don't like Dark Souls. I'm sorry. I said it. I said it. Okay, I said it. I don't like.
You did.
But you know what? I did like Monster Hunter. I thought that was a pretty cool game. It's just you wouldn't buy it, so I couldn't play, with somebody online, because it is an online game.
I'm not against it. It's just there's too many other things to play, and that game is a grind.
The game reminded me of a little game called Scalebound. Right, something that was supposed to be exclusive for the Xbox. That was abruptly
no, that was going to be a cornerstone of Microsoft's. Like, look, we got this game coming, can't get anywhere else, and then they magically canceled it last year.
Yeah, from Platinum, the makers of Bayonetta and Wonderful 101. But the game was abruptly canceled last year.
Yep.
But all the rumors are saying that, Nintendo is going to resurrect a well-known canceled game, and all the rumors think it's pointing to Scalebound. Now, I don't know how true that is. I don't even know if Microsoft truly owned the IP, because by all accounts, Platinum sort of had this idea. This was like one of their first games that they sort of had in the making when they came together, and then they didn't make that, and they made other games like Bayonetta and Wonderful 101, and they sort of pitched this game sort of to Xbox. So I don't know if that was sort of something that Xbox actually owned the IP or owned the rights to, just to be exclusive, that this game would be exclusive to Xbox One. I don't know.
It's a possibility. I mean, we can definitely say this. Nintendo and Platinum Games do have a very, very, very good relationship, right? When nobody else wanted to produce Bayonetta 2, Nintendo stepped up and said, we'll produce your game, but it needs to be exclusive to our system. And they said, okay, great. And Bayonetta 2 was fantastic. Bayonetta 3 is on the way.
Wonderful 101, Wii U exclusive.
And the other Wonderful 101 is the other, great feather in their cap, so, and those games are all exclusive now, are exclusive to Nintendo consoles, right? So,
well, Scalebound Scalebound is just sort of Monster Hunter with dragons, essentially, right?
I suppose so. I didn't really know too much about the conceit of the game, but it did look super cool.
where you're really controlling, sort of this cool looking guy. Everyone thinks he looks like Dante from Devil May Cry, the Devil May Cry series. And then you can give controls to the dragon, and then at one point you can sort of control the dragon in certain levels, but your character will be vulnerable. So you have to sort of find a safe place down somewhere in the woods or in the forest, because your character will be vulnerable as you control the dragon in air combat with other dragons, etc. I think was sort of what they were going for, and they sort of got really ambitious when it came to what the boss battles would be like. So it sounded pretty cool. Definitely something different that would come to the Xbox platform that I was looking forward to, and I wasn't really looking forward to many of the Xbox exclusives, to be honest with you. But I was looking forward to this game.
It's sad to say there's not many, and the ones that do come out are not
listen.
that
I'm liking Crackdown 3. I can listen to.
Crackdown.
As I said, I can listen to all our friends' podcasts.
You're like an Xbox apologist over here, right? For someone who's a PS4 fanboy, you certainly apologize.
I'm not a fanboy.
I just on the regular.
I'm trying to show that I'm neutral. I love all the platforms. I will love Google if they actually come out with a gaming console and not a streaming box.
Let me know how well the PlayStation 4 is doing with sales.
It's doing because
you're going to do it anyway.
Phenomenal.
You're going to
do it anyway. You want to go over the numbers again? You want to go over the numbers again?
I don't actually. I do not want to go over the numbers, Dad. Yeah, exactly. Gee, I couldn't have guessed.
So, I think this would be awesome if they could resurrect it. Apparently, Xbox, Microsoft and Nintendo have been, they've been working closely together, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about more about that in a minute. But if so, and they sort of could strike a deal to bring this game back to life, I think this would be an awesome catch for the Switch.
Yeah,
Monster Hunters.
I wonder how much of the game is done already, right? Is it 50% done, 30%?
Well, they had a playable demo 2 years ago. That doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things, but they had a working product, right? That you can actually play. I just wonder where they went wrong. Like, where was something that Microsoft say they want more of a games service type of game, right? Because that's where it seems that they're pushing towards. They're leaning towards with their future games.
It seems like it was more of a single player adventure when they've kind of clearly, they have said in no uncertain terms, we care about multiplayer and forget the single player experience, right?
Yeah. So is it that they couldn't sort of transform it into a multiplayer game? And that's why they sort of wanted to can it, because they just couldn't agree on what they wanted to do with it. Or I don't know. But we'll see. Hopefully this is true, because this is a game that I was really looking forward to playing on the Xbox. But now I can look forward to playing it on the Switch if this is true. Who knows? I hope it's not a game that's like total trash that got canceled for a reason.
Same. Nobody definitely wants that, especially if it's going to be a Switch exclusive, right?
What was that? It was the name escapes me. It was a game years ago. It was like a guy with a hammer going around smashing things.
Fix It Felix from
No. The game was actually
Wreck-It Ralph.
No, it was like I forgot the name. It's gonna come to me like after the show. It was like
I don't know. I need more info than a guy running around with a hammer.
He's like running around. He was like running around like realistic streets with a hammer, smashing things.
Yeah.
The name escapes me. Oh my god, the name escapes me.
Yeah. All right. If you think about it.
No, it's gonna kill me until watch. We're gonna think about. I'm gonna try to get it and talk about it on the next show. Even though it's gonna kill me. I totally forgot.
I need to know. I need to know, Dan. The more importantly, the fans need to know.
All right. Well, let's get back to Microsoft and Nintendo. Playing nice. We talked about last week that they want to have Xbox Live on the Switch, right? And it's not actual games, but you can see your gamer profile, right? You can see if your friends are online and what they're playing and achievements and messaging. Essentially, voice chat. Something that Nintendo doesn't have on the Switch.
Well, I mean, what is it? I think Rocket League or Fortnite does, but that's really about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But now there's talks about Xbox bringing Game Pass to Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they want to do like they want to stream. They want to do a streaming thing, most likely, from the Nintendo Switch, and you can just whatever's on Game Pass is available to stream like that.
Well, no, not streaming. Game Pass isn't a streaming service. Game Pass you actually download to your hard drive.
Well,
and they allow you to continue to play as long as you have the service.
But it would need to be a streaming thing in this case because the architecture is wildly different from the Switch to the Xbox, right? So the games aren't going to be immediately compatible, right?
Well, that's an interesting point that I don't hear anybody bringing up. I mean, I don't think Xbox 5 is compatible with the Switch, right? Mm-hmm. That's true. Maybe older games that they have on Games Pass can be a little bit more compatible with the Switch because the Switch is a walking Xbox 360, essentially, right? That's
it is. I mean, power-wise, it is. Power-wise, it is. But the architecture is different, right? I think it's got some sort of ARM processor in there, and Xbox and PlayStation use an x86 architecture, right? Which basically means not that they're exactly the same, but if you make a game for PlayStation, it's a lot easier to port it to Xbox and vice versa than taking that and putting that on the Switch, right? Because you kind of got to build it from the ground up almost.
That's a good point, and no one's bringing up. If it's streaming, right? If it would be streaming, that would be, I would say, a Japan. This would be something that would be more useful in Japan than it would be anywhere else because they have the infrastructure in place to stream games on the Switch. I mean, look, everyone's trying to stream it. I mean, they streamed Resident Evil 7, right, to the Switch. Capcom did. They did
also that streamed in Assassin's Creed Unity over in Japan as well.
No, it wasn't Unity. It was Odyssey.
Or Odyssey. I'm sorry, Odyssey. Yeah. So they would. It was Odyssey. And again, they were able to do that in Japan because of their infrastructure. Over here, it's a little more. We have a much bigger country than Japan. The internet is not created equal across the board, right? You go to the middle of the U.S. and they do not nearly have speeds. There's some people out there that still have dial-up in the middle of the Midwest.
Well, let's be honest. Even if this was like, say they did do this, like say they pulled it off. This was just streaming. That would be crazy that you can play the Master Chief Collection on the Switch.
Right. You can play technically any game, as long as it's on Game Pass.
That would be crazy, but this would be smart because Microsoft and Xbox haven't been doing well, selling units in Japan.
They never have, yeah.
Never have.
Just not.
Right?
It's not a console or a company that Japanese gamers are really warming up to. Like sales numbers are bad.
In Japan they do lots. They love handhelds in Japan. I mean, the Vita, right, was still selling units. Still sells units in Japan to this day.
More units than the Xbox One. You were informing me on, and I did not. I had to go ahead and look that up. Here is a very interesting fact. Just last year in December, there were over 11,000 PS Vita units sold in Japan. Right.
I believe it.
If we take those numbers and compare them to the Xbox One, 2,076 units. That is 1/5, more than 1/5, or I should say less than 1/5 of the amount of handheld sold. That's insane. For a console that Sony has basically written off, they said, no, we're not going to make any more new games for it. That's insane.
I know. But it's one of those, if they can't beat them, join them type things, right? Because Xbox they're not gonna come out with a handheld.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least we don't think. I'm sure they did some R&D on prototyping, but they didn't go really far. And I think they actually mentioned in one of those IGN first interviews with Ryan McCaffrey, right? Mm-hmm. I think he talked to one of the old Xbox heads, and I think he did say that they sort of had one that they talked about, maybe prototype, but it never went past that stage. So they're not going to do a handheld. They're not going to get in bed, I guess Nintendo could be considered a direct competitor, but they're not going to get in bed with Sony to put Xbox Live on PlayStation. And I don't think Sony would entertain that at this point, right? Next gen, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But it makes sense that, hey, look, we can play ball with Nintendo, right? We can have the Xbox Games Pass on, we can maybe have it on the Switch and stream it. Go third party in Japan. That makes sense. Yeah. Bring people on the platform. If you're not going to buy my console, at least pay the $10 a month, and you can play Xbox. You can play Xbox exclusives. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. I can believe that.
It's definitely not bad from Microsoft's perspective, right?
Well, Microsoft may be going. Everyone wanted Nintendo to go third party. Mm-hmm. All right. Everyone's like, oh, after the Wii U debacle, Nintendo, just go third party. Let me see Mario on Xbox. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe Xbox is going third party. You never know.
Yeah.
They could be moving that way.
That's wild. I can't subscribe to that.
Well, one of the biggest rumors now, now that E3 is slowly approaching, I can't believe that. Wow, we're like 4 months away from E3. Mm-hmm. The big rumor now that we know PlayStation, Sony's not going to be at E3. The biggest rumor now is Microsoft unveiling the next gen consoles and Halo Infinite and announcing Halo Infinite as a launch title for a 2020 release.
Mm-hmm. All of this is not surprising.
I got to be honest. I would have doubted this weeks ago if it wasn't for the fact that Phil Spencer did say they will be going big this E3. I'm still skeptical, only because I don't see a full reveal with a 2020 release, because that would be uncharacteristic in the last, I don't know, any of the generations. Really,
you do want to hide. You do want to hide some of the most innovative features as late as possible, because you don't want somebody else copying it, right? You don't want Sony, which is obviously right on the heels of Microsoft, in announcing their latest console or their next console, right? You don't want them biting off your like, oh, that's a really good idea. We have about a year. Let's go ahead and work that into our console.
Let's be honest. The industry is small. I'm sure, and a lot of these workers know each other. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's some things being shared internally. I mean, right? Because it's too coincidental that the PS4 and Xbox One shared similar architecture, right? I think some of these things are held close to the vest, but a lot of things are shared. A lot of things are shared, especially like when you're working with third parties where they got to make a game for your console and their console. It's like, hey, look.
I'm sure some stuff gets kind of like passed around and whatnot, but I mean that's the whole reason for them not unveiling it so quickly, right? They wanna build the mystery, the hype, and then go, hey, look, we got this new thing coming out, Christmas 1 of 2020, right?
No, you had it right the first time. You had it right the first time. Christmas. You had it right the first time. Christmas.
No, but I mean, like this will also be the second time that Halo will launch with a new system, if both these rumors are true, right?
I think we talked about it. I think Halo is going to be a launch title. I just don't think they'll announce. I don't think they're going to do a big unveiling reveal at E3. I think maybe they'll end it like they did the Scorpio one with, we're working on an X one, and here's a sneak peek at some of the specs.
Well, some will be shown. Yeah, some will be shown for sure.
Only because I don't think they want to stifle sales this holiday for the Xbox One S and X. I don't think they want to stifle those sales. So unless you're going to tell me they're going to do a release for the next gen console early 2020. Mm-hmm. And even then, I don't think they will reveal anything.
You think they would jump the gun and do it on Christmas too, huh? Interesting.
I think Sony's
they could do a whole Switch thing. Who knows?
I think Sony would do a Switch thing. I don't think Microsoft would. I think they want to hit that holiday season.
Yeah, I don't know. I was actually surprised when Nintendo did it and did it so well. They're like, you know what? Forget all that noise at Christmas. We're gonna go ahead and do a Christmas 2, and it worked out real well in their favor. I think, right? Everybody
did.
like flocked to it.
It did. I think they came out a year too early. I think they should have waited a year personally, but
Oh,
all right. Let's move on to Anthem.
mm-hmm.
Okay, Anthem. I was sick this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to even go buy it. Reviews are trickling in. A lot of people are waiting on their reviews just because the day one patch came out, and they want to get a chance to see what the patch is about and play. All the servers are live and everyone's playing it.
Mm-hmm.
The reviews aren't so good, and this is bad news for BioWare, right? Reviews on the Metacritic as of right now, it's like a 60.
Sure. Well, I mean, the game came out too early. That's what everybody's saying, is that EA kind of pushed it out the door a little bit early, made the early access for a bunch of people, and that's the review copy that people were using. They're using the early access one, right? And not, I guess, the final one that came out. So yeah, that's definitely going to negatively impact your score if there's day one patches that fix some severe issues. I think it's a lot on EA for pushing that out the door, right? And now Microsoft is trying to scramble to say hey, look, the game isn't that bad because they have exclusive marketing right now, right? Everything's geared towards the Xbox, and it's get it on Xbox, get it on Xbox, get it on Xbox, and it's getting 60s.
Well,
that's not good.
Well, let's just call it Xbox Vice President Mike Ybarra.
Mm-hmm.
He took to Twitter because he didn't really like the criticism of Anthem,
mm-hmm.
and he pretty much, was bad mouthing reviewers about how they're reviewing the game.
Well, specifically, I think they were talking about this combo, right? But they don't explicitly tell you how to do the combo during the first couple hours of training and tutorials, right? It's deep in some menu, way deep on how to do this special combo, right? And it's even referenced, I think, in some of the weapons and armor and whatnot about this combo, but they never explicitly tell you or show you, which they should do in these games, or show you how to do it, right? It's just a major flaw, and Mike Ybarra he's trying to defend it.
He's saying he's saying everyone's whining.
Yeah.
Right, and he's essentially telling people stop whining, get good. No, Mike Ybarra, I'm sorry. I'm calling you out. I'm holding your feet to the fire. The game isn't good because it's not ready. All right. Maybe this game will be good next year. All right. But right now it's not. Mm-hmm. This game was rushed. It should have waited. As a matter of fact, this should have been a launch title for next generation. If anything, they should have waited. All right. So I'm calling. If this was a Sony executive, Dave would be more enraged and holding his feet to the fire for calling reviewers whiny and get good. No, I'm sorry. All right. This is an Xbox executive. He will get the same treatment. And I even like Mike Ybarra. All right. Mm-hmm. He's been out. He's sort of one of the faces of Microsoft. Not as well known, but if you're a hardcore gamer and you're really into all the guys who market the games and stuff like that, you've heard of his name and you've seen his comments before. He's been on interviews. So I'm holding his feet to the fire. I'm sorry. You're whining, okay? I think you're whining.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the reviewers are whining. The game isn't ready. And I would call out a Sony executive if they said the same thing. If anything, I held the feet to the fire about crossplay when it came. Right. I said, listen, I understand why they didn't do crossplay with Minecraft because you need an Xbox Live account, and I understand Sony doesn't want to see the Xbox Live people. They don't want PlayStation Plus members to have an Xbox Live account too, even though we probably have that and the Nintendo Online account, all three.
Yeah, right.
But I can understand you don't want to see an Xbox logo on while they're playing a game on Sony on the PlayStation. I get that, but there's no reason not to have crossplay for every other game, especially if it's easy, just a flip of a switch.
Well, I mean, I think it's a little more than that, but I mean, they finally caved. They finally caved on it.
Well,
and now they're like, all right, crossplay.
A little bit. They finally caved a little bit.
Right. All
right. So I gotta hold your feet to the fire, Mike Ybarra. I like you, bro. I like you, but no, people aren't whining. The game just isn't good. All right.
Yeah. And you're asking me if I'm going to get this game?
I did. You were about you told me you were going to get this game. You were ready to get this game. You were excited about getting this game.
I was going to get this game, and then the reviews came out. It's a little undercooked. The meat's got to go back to the kitchen.
Get this game.
Yeah, well, now when the meat comes out undercooked, you got to send it back.
When the meat comes out undercooked, you get sick and you get stomach flu.
Well, I didn't say to eat that piece of meat.
All right, no comment. You took that a little bit too, but we went a little bit too far that one. I will say this: Anthem. You think it's the Fallout 76 of 2019?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. Couple of like early patches will kind of smooth that out a little bit. Again, a lot of people are reviewing the early copy of it, right? And not the final release, So they're already. I mean, I'm looking here right now. They're already, I think, pushing out a 1.03 patch, right? Which means they've already had 2 patches since the game launched. So,
the game's only been out for 2 days.
That says something. Yeah, well, that says something.
All right. We talked about the Vita outselling Xbox One in Japan. And, I mean, it's still December. It's still 11,000 copies, over 11,000 units. That is incredible in itself. PlayStation, Sony's is gearing up. All hands on deck for PS5. What we think would be called the PS5. It should be called PS5. Please call it the PS5. Don't change. Don't go anywhere else, please. Thank you.
There you go.
So they've already canceled. They've already given up on the PS Vita, even though it's being sold in Japan. It's selling pretty well. This could be the nail in the coffin for the Vita. They're ending production of Vita cartridges in Japan at the end of March.
Yeah, this is very much the nail in the coffin, right? The cartridges are necessary, right, by all the developers. They need stuff to put their games on, right? Unless it's going to be digital. The ending of the production on the consoles is, not a good sign. Means you maybe have like a year left or so. I'd say maybe a year and a half tops, if even. Because the indie scene is really what's keeping it alive. The indie scene in the third party developers are really keeping it alive.
So rest in peace. I need to get a PS Vita, a white PS Vita 1000. I got to get that back.
You better get one now before it even balloons up further.
Anybody out there has an American version? Because I can get the Japanese version easy. The Japanese version is easy to get. I need that. Thank you. All right. We talked about unreleased games. The Star Fox 2. Right, that was an unreleased game, unfinished game. That
95% complete, I think, but they didn't want to confuse people with Star Fox 64 and that game coming out, so they just tabled it.
And that was released on the SNES Classic. Right? It was the reason to buy the SNES Classic.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to play the best game ever made in Super Mario World,
in Dan's eyes, yeah.
In the world's eyes.
In Dan's eyes.
Well, just all surveys that have been taken. I've showed you every time there's a survey. I show you, but just putting it out there.
Congrats.
No, thank you. We have that again. What a Sega game now, right? Is a game that was supposed to be. It was pretty much complete. It was a Genesis game.
Yeah, DICE, the developers of the Battlefield series, most notably, I should say. Back in the day, they were Digital Illusions. They didn't have the CE at that time, and they were making a game for Genesis called something with a D, right? They had an unreleased game. No, Hardcore. That's right. The game is Hardcore. It's a run and gun shooter. It looks great. You can watch the video of it and whatnot.
Well, we talked about this game, right? Because it was an unreleased game that was pretty much done. It was unreleased. Well, we knew the game was coming back, right? Because they said they were going to put it out. I was under an assumption that they're going to put out a physical release of this game, right? Like sort of maybe like a limited run.
Sure,
right?
An IM 8-bit or
IM 8-bit or something like that.
Reserve or something. Yeah.
But it's coming out under the new well, the guys who made the analog and what was it, the analog NIT NES?
The analog NT was the
NT.
Was
Yeah.
the Nintendo one. They made a Super NT, which that had an exclusive Super Turrican special edition that was built into the system.
And
So
now
now
they're
we're going to
making
get hardcore
the-
built into the analog Genesis or the
well, it's the
analog
Mega
Drive,
SG.
Mega
The Mega
SG, the
SG,
analog
yeah.
Mega SG. So
I don't know how I feel about this. I want a physical release. I don't want the game on a
of course you
cartridge.
do. Of
I want the
course
game
you
on
do.
a cartridge for the
Everyone would
Switch.
want a physical of this, a nice special edition case and a Genesis. You know, that'd be great. That'd be great. But sadly, I don't think we're going to get that.
I know they're gonna make me buy this Mega SG
Mm-hmm.
because now I do want to play the game because I love the running gun style, shooting the old school style.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna lie, I have mixed emotions about this. We talked about this months ago.
Right.
I really wanted this to come out on the Switch.
Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, the good news is it is coming out on the Vita and the PS4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's definitely going to happen after the analog Mega SG comes out, right? But we will have that, which means possibly we can get a physical. All right.
I still wanted it on Switch. I'm sorry. It should come out on the Switch.
I understand.
This style of
that.
game.
I understand.
Come on, this style of game. It should come out on the Switch.
Mhm.
That's what I want. I wanted this on the Switch. I was campaigning for it to be on the Switch.
Right.
All right, so let's get into sort of a story that we didn't get into last week because we had the mega show, right? We had the whole Nintendo Direct that came out. We have the first Inside Xbox came out. So we had a lot to cover, and we didn't get into it, but we did say we would cover it this week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We got a good like 2 weeks of news to go through, so it's, you know, some stuff ends up falling through the cracks for sure.
And then we had the Dead Mouse debacle, right?
Mm-hmm.
He sort of, so Dead Mouse, famous DJ, right? And he's famous he loves playing video games. Who doesn't? And he plays video games. He actually does live stream on Twitch. He, you know, had some issues. He had some controversy where he said some less flattering things, some sort of borderline, maybe not borderline, but some hate speech. He had some slurs during a live stream in the heat of the moment. Okay, I just want to put that out there too. And then he sort of got a lot of backlash for that, and a lot of hate online, a lot of internet hate, because you know that's what the internet does best.
Sure, yeah. And he was streaming PubG on Twitch, right? And you know, he said some words, said some hateful, slanderous words to the homosexual community, right? And he was just expressing outrage at a fellow opponent, I guess, who ended up like sniping him from across the level, I think is maybe what it was. And, you know, he kind of blurted this out on live stream, and obviously, you know, Twitch, Amazon got a hold of this, and, you know, they kind of made a whole big thing out of it. And he took a stand and said, you know what, I'm never gonna stream on Twitch again. I'm taking myself off of Twitch. All right. And, you know, he was very upset about, quote unquote, Twitch's double standards, you know, on censorship and suspensions. You know, some stuff they allow through, some people they don't ban, and then other people they do ban, and he's not going to stand for it, right? And that was like kind of his thing, right? Everyone kind of jumped to Twitter, because everyone loves to jump to Twitter and, you know, kind of take the side of, yeah, you really shouldn't be saying that. Like, this is some real bad hate speech, right? And he wrote a very long Reddit post explaining his stance and how he's not racist or homophobic or nationalistic or whatever, you know, all the horrible terms that, you know, people like to brand other people with. He's like, look, this isn't me, and I said this in the heat of the moment and this and that. Right. But, you know, I guess like the thing of it is that they didn't, there was no room for discussion here, right? This like kind of happened. It kind of blew up a little bit, and everybody immediately took sides, right? You know, everyone had the pitchforks up, and they just kind of went at it. So it's very interesting it kind of shines a light on the current culture that's going on online, right? Especially in relation to games, right? As soon as you say one thing that's out of line, it's like everybody blows up, right? There's no way to put these things in context, right? Nobody really reads the whole entire story. They read the snippet of the thing from the person that they're following about the thing that happened to somebody, right? So it's like already a step or two removed, and you're already getting someone else's colored opinion on things. So it's just kind of very interesting, right? And I thought,
do you need context though for saying, essentially he said the F word, right? Which it's, if you listen to old Eminem albums, the first two, it's rampant, especially the second one, right? The F word,
sure.
Where it
but
was
I mean,
widely accepted as a derogatory thing that you could say, and nowadays in 2019, that is something that
he was definitely getting some flack from the likes of, say, like Moby, like him and Moby kind of butted heads a lot, because Moby was real, like, we were saying some real insightful stuff, some real awful stuff, and he's like, Eminem would come back and say, I don't really believe that stuff. It's just kind of, it has a different meaning to me. Doesn't mean what you think it means. I'm saying it in a way that's just kind of like an offhanded comment to make fun of somebody else, and kind of, he was pushing aside all of the baggage that word came with, right? And I guess that's the same thing that's going on now is that.
But do you really need context? What if he said the N-word?
Well, take a look at President Obama, right? There was his book, Songs of My Fathers or whatever it was, like the book that he produced, like, I think it was like right before his presidency, right? And he had this book, and he narrated, I think, the audio book, right? And there's a lot of like quotes in there that, taken out of context, are like really awful, like him kind of dropping the N-word, and I think he even dropped the F word and this and that, and like listening to those quotes out of context is like, oh, but it's just him telling a story about things, right? I think that is an aspect of it, right? Sometimes you need more clarity, and sometimes you don't necessarily need clarity, it's kind of hard to say, but I think what we're going to do here is, because this is part of a bigger issue, right? This is kind of something that's been going on the internet in
outrage culture.
Yeah. I think that's kind of outrage / mob culture, and just kind of everything surrounding that. What happens when someone says something that's questionable, or something you don't like, or something that's whatever. And everyone immediately kind of jumps up and takes sides, right? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a deeper dive into this in the next coming weeks, and we're going to have a bigger discussion about kind of mob culture and how it affects, I guess, gaming in particular, right? We're going to kind of take it. We're going to look at it at a lens through gaming. And that about does it. That is episode 152 in the books. Well, you know what? Before we do our own plugs, we want to give another shout out to our fellow podcasters, Shark Gaming, Pixie Gaming, GOGP, that's Ghost of Gamer Past, Pixel Paradise, Precisely Podcast, New Dad Gaming, In Your Element, and Zap Night. Check those guys out. Give them some love. We'd greatly appreciate it, and they would greatly appreciate it too. And for us, if you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.